How's everything, guys? I'm gonna argue under the premise that is it really good for boxing to make this fight or not? I'll be presenting arguments for and against in alternate pattern. The first argument in favor of this fight is that it's not Canelo's fault to not be fighting a top-level fighter next. We gotta remember that Canelo was willing to fight Billy Joe Sanders before the pandemic. It's not like Canelo had a same mind to not fight a top-level fighter since the beginning. It seems that it's tough for Canelo to fight this style. We've already seen when he faced Lara and Mayweather. Notwithstanding, Canelo took those risky fights and was about to take another similar one. So maybe Canelo wouldn't fight Sanders hadn't this worldwide event happened. An argument against this event to take place is that there is not a core reason for this fight to take place. Neither Canelo nor Yildirim deserve this fight. Canelo is not even classified by the WBC in this category, and Yildirim had already his title shot and he lost that fight. Canelo has fought just once at super middleweight and are at Furor Lemieux and Jacobs, waiting until Yildirim gave up his dream to become a world champion. He had been demoted when he lost to Anthony Brown. Another argument in favor of this fight is that Canelo is not the only one fighter this category that is fighting fighters this level. The WBC former champ David Benavides. Last three opponents were Love, Libral and Angulo, roughly the same level Yildirim. Not many people mention the quality of David's last opponent, but Angulo was even classified lower than Yildirim. The WBA champ Callum Smith's last three opponents were George Groff, Hassan Dam and John Ryder. I think Groff and Ryder are very good opponents. In fact, I think he checks the list. Yeah, he's got the moral to criticize to Canelo. Someone could say he lost to Ryder, but that's not the subject here. IBF champ Caleb Lamb. Last three opponents were Jose Uzcategui, my lead, and Vincent Faye Gensgood. I think those last two opponents are seemingly the same level that Yildirim. So to measure with the same rule, people must expect him to fight a fighter at least the same level that Yildirim. Champ Sanders. So let's see who were his last three fights. Adamu 13 losses, Isufi 3 losses, Costeres. He was an undefeated fighter, but he's clearly not on the top. So someone could say that Billy Joe Sanders has fought even weaker opposition than Yildirim represents to Canelo. Another argument against is that this seems to be one of the occasions when the evidence indicates that Canelo has held some unsportsmanlike advantage. Like when he tried to fight Golovkin at catchweight, when Golovkin had fought his entire career at middleweight, when he fought against Kovalev with little time to recover for Kovalev, and then he tried to fight with the same advantage against Blanc. This seems to be something similar. Everything indicates in this situation that the advantage is that it's not a 50-50 fight. Another argument in favor of this fight is that it's not always the right time for negotiating a top-level fight. Not everything is in Canelo's hands. For example, if Canelo wants to fight against a mushroom boxing or PBC fighter, the promoters don't want to lose against Golden Boy. The fighters know that the fight versus Canelo can represent the best course of their career, and they have recognized promoters who never want to lose in a negotiation. The last argument against is that Canelo could damage his legacy if he takes this fight. The Super Welterweight Championship, for which he also had a discussion with Marquez. Marquez stated that he didn't mean Canelo competed for the championship, but he do so against the right opponent, and not with Hatton, who wasn't even among the top 10 class. The middleweight championship versus Golovkin is good, and the light heavyweight championship is also good in my opinion. We can discuss that another day. The point here is that how he'll get his fourth belt in different category against who, that will stay forever on his resume. By the way, I don't consider Canelo a legitimate champion at super middleweight. The legitimate champion there is Callum Smith. In conclusion, we must base our opinions on facts always, and especially for a fight like this. Otherwise, we're at risk of be taken as haters or fanboys. Boxing fans don't have to have a deep knowledge of boxing, which is why they have more tolerance when they express their opinions. But it's not the same case of those who explicitly or implicitly call themselves experts, YouTubers, or those that are on social networks or on TV. They should be required to be prudent in their statements because there is a risk to cause harm to boxing. And what we're all looking for boxing is to strengthen it, not to weaken.